More Assassin's Creed, you know. You know what I'm gonna make for the thumbnail for this one? I'm gonna make a thumbnail of what's his name? What's his name? DJ Khaled wearing the wearing Yosuke's helmet and then doing his thing another one. I'm gonna make that as the thumbnail. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna make that one for this thumbnail. It's just we just keep hearing more and more just Assassin's Creed. You want to know something? You know what I made for the thumbnail for the most recent one that we watched or so. I have to show you this one. I thought this was fucking dumb. So here it is. So here it is. Honey, your daily AC shadow reminder. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. So I decided to make this as a thumbnail or something because it's just like, oh great, there's another Assassin's Creed shadow shadow shit. It's just like it's just nonstop just Assassin's Creed shit. So so that's the only reason why I decided to make that. I'm gonna make the DJ Khaled one for this one because I'm just kind of like, come on, man. It's foretold that it'll be it. All right, let's see what we have.
Ubisoft finally released a statement talking about the whole entire controversy surrounding Assassin's Creed Shadows, and while they made it available for everyone to read, it's especially aimed towards their Japanese audience, as they have been the main ones in an uproar about this ever since the trailer dropped back in May, I think it was. I'm not going to read the entire statement here, but I will leave a link for it down in the description for you to check out for yourself. Please read that first before watching the rest of this video. The purpose of this video is to show you what the Japanese audiences actually have to say in regards to this. So let's find out, shall we? So this is the original post in Japanese, and I want to check out the most upvoted, most interacted with tweets in response to this. I'm also going to refer to another big Japanese YouTuber, the one that sang the Yasuke Yanaikai song that some of you may be familiar.
Oh, are you serious? No way. Okay, I'm pretty interested to see this actually.
With. I'm going to see what he has to say and also what his comment section has to say to see what their opinions of this is. So let's just go through this in order, shall we? Okay, so this tweet here, just reading through it now. They say, regarding Yasuke, you could just say it is pure fiction based on the model of Yasuke, using him as inspiration to solve this entire problem. But the issue of the historical revisionism is no longer just about Ubisoft. It has become an issue with Mr. Thomas Lockley, which I covered in my previous video. But still, the problem isn't even about Yasuke anymore. It also involves the misuse of copyrighted material from manga, such as the Roner Zoro's sword here. Other organizations, such as the Matchlock group, and their flag was being used without proper authorization. Other cultural heritages, they refer to this image here. This image, which is being shown in the Fukuchiyama castle in the game, whereas this image itself is actually from the Nijo castle. This image in particular.
Oh, interesting. I saw this specifically too as well.
It's very important for that castle. And also, for some reason, they flipped the head around on the bird. I'm guessing to try and get around that. But Japanese people are very protective about their cultural heritage. And so it was very easy for them to find this kind of stuff out. The misrepresentation...
Yeah, man. How can you still defend this? I'm actually interested. Like, how can you still defend this?
Of Japanese history, they link to this one here where they talk about one of the developers said that, so it's more trying to be faithful to the war aspect of Japan at that period. Death.
Look, man, Reddit mods are just stupid people, okay? All right, let's be honest here, okay? The Reddit mods that are trying to defend the shit, they're dumb, okay? All right, they're just completely dumb people, okay? All right, let's be honest here, they're just fucking dumb.
Was a common thing, and decapitation was not a strange sight in Japan. Again, this is completely not true. Decapitations were not nearly as common as this developer leads people to believe, putting it lightly, to be honest. And also here, they're saying confusing us with Chinese. This was to do with the Japanese version of the trailer. They released it with Chinese subtitles for some reason. And also there was...
Wait, what? Are you serious? Oh my goodness gracious me. Wow, okay. I did not even know that.
Another thing I mentioned about the immersive experience booth, where they laid out a spread for like, eating for food, and again, you guys in the West probably don't really care too much about this, but the way this is going to sound like a real big nitpick.
Wait a minute. I haven't even seen this actually. What the fuck? I've never seen this. It was easy to defend. Man has melanin, which is
And it probably is a bit of a nitpick. The way they laid the chopsticks down, they laid the chopsticks down vertically as opposed to horizontally, which is the more traditional Japanese way of doing things. From what I understand, the laying the chopsticks down vertically is more of a Chinese cultural thing, whereas Japanese...
You know the funny thing about it, chat, right? So the funny thing about that specifically, right? The funny thing, like even I didn't know this, right? I didn't even know that you're supposed to put the chopsticks like horizontally, right? But I've always done it. Like I've always put my chopsticks horizontally because I have chopsticks, right? I have chopsticks at home, and when I eat my noodles or so, I eat with chopsticks. Sometimes I'll eat with like the food that if I make the food, right? If I make any Asian cuisine specifically, right? I usually eat it with chopsticks or so. Sometimes, not all the times. But the funny thing about it specifically, right? Like I always like do my chopsticks horizontally. Like, cause I know I'm part Japanese, right? But I never like grew up like Asian, right? I grew up mostly Hispanic, right? But like for some apparent reason, right? I've always put it horizontally. I don't know why, but I've always put it horizontally. I've never put it vertically. I've always put it horizontally. For some apparent reason, right? Like I don't know why, but like every time I stare at it or so, if I see it like vertically, like for some apparent reason, like it's just kind of like gnaws. It's just like kind of like gnaws at me, and I'm just like, this isn't right. This is not right. Wait a second, no. And then I put it, and then I always fixate it to horizontal. I'm like, this is better. I don't know why. I have no idea. I've never was raised. I was mostly never raised Asianly, right? The only Asian influence that I got was from my grandma specifically a long time ago. And I don't really remember too much about it, right? Specifically, but for some apparent reason, I've always like ever since I started eating with chopsticks or so, I always put it horizontally. I don't know why. It's just how it is. Maybe it's just something that I did with my grandma back in the past. I don't know. Like I said, that was like super long time ago that I do not remember specifically, right? But like, I don't know, man. I was like, they think we're Chinese. Well, granted, it is nitpick, but it's kind of like
lay them down horizontally. So that's another thing where they're feeling insulted.
It's justified at the end of the day.
To Chinese, like they're saying, what, can you not differentiate the two different cultures, two different ethnicities of Asian?
No, I don't think they can. It's just like they consulted everywhere but the Japanese for this game. No, they did. They consulted a Japanese book person, but that person who wrote a book or so wrote a book about priests having sexual relationship with minors. So that's like the only knowledge that I know about a Japanese person. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Why are you like combining us together? That doesn't make any sense. We are not the same
I was like, what the fuck? Excuse me?
People, do you not get that? That's what they're saying here. Okay, we've got this tweet here. I would like to ask that in the third image, if you could rewrite an example of creative expression clearly as an example of fiction. Yeah, they want Ubisoft to make it extremely clear that this game in its entirety is not an example of creative expression, but an entire work of fiction. Not even historical fiction, as in setting this game in a period of history and then just making fictional elements.
Well, yeah, of course. Just say that it's fiction or so. That's basically. I think that's what they basically want, because it's not historical fiction. It's not non-fiction. It's fiction. Everything about it is just not real. Everything about it is not real.
weaving fictional elements throughout, they need to just give up and stop using terms such as authentic, historical, real life. These are the terms that Japan really takes great issue with. And
yeah, I can 100% I can see that 100% because it's just kind of like well, you know, that this is something that they take serious because they think this is real. Like, a lot of people think this is real, you know, this is authentic, this is historically accurate, and the Japanese are like, no, it's not. What the fuck are you talking about, you know?
they're often using the word authentic in their promotional material. Again, this is something that Japan also doesn't really take keen interest in, especially when they're getting such blatantly obvious things wrong about the most basic of basic things. If you want examples of the kind of things I'm talking about, I would recommend you to watch both my previous videos.
It's kind of like it shapes history in their own narrative, you know? That's what it basically does.
Where I go into a bit more detail about those kinds of things. Like I said, it's not just Yasuke. And they show this here as well. Japanese people are tolerant of fiction that deals with historical figures, but are intolerant of anything that
even for me, right? When I saw the trailer so specifically for the Assassin's Creed Shadows, right? I was just making fun of like the weird stereotypical racist shenanigans that were in that trailer specifically. Because number one, I was like, oh my god, like you can literally make jokes out of this because it's just hilariously bad or so, you know. So I was just kind of like, whoa. I was like, bro, this is like borderline kind of racist, you know, especially the hip hop track music or so, right? And then like the Japanese girl like looking like in like surprise or so seeing a black man or so, you know, and then the black man just winks back at her, you know. It's just kind of like, I was like, I've seen this before. Like, I've seen this before. So yeah, like I said, it's just kind of like, and then also there was that one shot or so specifically seeing that they had like 4 different seasons in one single shot of the trailer or something like that. I knew something was off, but I couldn't put my finger on it specifically, right? I thought it was the sakura trees, right? Because I was like looking at the sakura trees and I was like, everything looks green and everything, and I was like, is it the sakura tree that's looking wrong or so? I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but like something feels off. I don't know. It's like something in my gut tells me that something feels off, specifically on that one shot of the cutscene. But then a different person pointed out the video or so, and pointed it out in the video specifically. And I was like, oh, okay, so I was right. There was something off with this specific cutscene. I just couldn't put my finger on it because, like I said, I was not raised in Japan. Okay. I only have some heritage inside of me, you know, from my grandma, you know, from long time ago or so, before she passed away, you know. Yeah, like I said, I don't remember too much specifically about it because it's like such a long time ago that a lot of my memories are kind of like fading away or so specifically. So they should have hired me. All the characters of the NPC would be black. Plus, I would market the game as 100% historical accurate. Yeah, I don't know. I've had a couple of Japanese audiences in my comment sections, right? And I always respond to them specifically about it, of what's, you know, I tell them what's going on this side of the planet or so specifically. And you know what? I actually do like it. I like that I have some Japanese audiences, you know, coming into my comment sessions and speaking and talking about what their issues and everything like that, and learning and everything, you know. So it's very nice. I do respond. I try to respond to everybody, but if your comment is stupid, you know, I'm just gonna be like, I'm not gonna respond to it. I'm just gonna dislike it or whatever, you know. So
is not described as fiction. So as long as you make it extremely clear that everything in this game is fictional, that you are not representing anyone in any sort of historical way at all, then go ahead, no problem. But the fact of the matter is they are trying to pass this off, as they say very often, historical fiction. That
historical accuracy.
That is the problem. They're speaking in such a roundabout way, I have no idea what they're actually trying to say. It sounds like they're apologizing, but they're not actually saying anything at all. There was another comment that got a lot of traction in response. However, this comment wasn't by a Japanese person, and they didn't even, they're not attempting to pass themselves off as a Japanese person. They just made their comment in Japanese. I'm guessing they might have used Google Translate or something like that. But regardless, they made this long
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
post here, and it got a lot of traction. It got a lot
Oh my Lord! That's a long sentence.
of 4.5 thousand likes, 942 retweets, and I have looked at the responses to this comment by this foreign person here to see what if Japanese players are resonating with this, if this person does seem to be putting into words something that the Japanese people are genuinely feeling about the situation. So, and it seems like they are here. Like this person says, pretending to be Japanese using Google Translate. Oh, this is embarrassing. The person was never pretending to be Japanese. They never said, oh, I am Japanese, and then they don't. Their image, their profile image is very clearly a white guy. And if you look,
well, yeah, no, duh. You can fucking tell. You can fucking tell.
Look at their profile, there is nothing in there of them.
For me, I just mostly say I'm just Hispanic. That's about it, you know. But yeah, I do have some Asian heritage inside of me, but the problem is, it's just like I was just raised mostly Hispanic, so I just mostly said just Hispanic most of my entire time. So it's just that Mama Azathoth was mostly raised Hispanically in a Hispanic country, and then I was raised Hispanically in a English territory, but you know the house is always, you know, inside the house was always Spanish all the time, so.
Claiming to be Japanese, but like I said, there was a lot of response to this, so I'm gonna go through here and just read through a little.
Oh yeah, that's true. Even if it is historical fiction, it has to have it has to have some percentage of accuracy. Yeah.
A little bit. First, let's make something clear. One of your game developers previously said that an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan wouldn't sell because he believed there was a lack of interest. However, after the massive success of Ghost of Tsushima, you started working on a game set in Japan. So please stop saying that you wanted to make this game for a long time. That is a patent lie. And what he's referring to here is actually this article, this dev.
Oh my God, I remember this too as well.
Interview here, even though he didn't say that he doesn't want to make an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan, he is showing pretty much like a reluctance to do so. And secondly, you did not consult with knowledgeable people in Japan. You consulted one or two questionable individuals who erroneously stated that Yasuke was a samurai. He's referring to Thomas Lockley here. One of them is not an expert on the period and has written a book about sexual relations between monks and boys. There
it is. The monks and the boys. Well, it's supposed to be like priest monks or something like that with boys.
This is talking about the other person I haven't mentioned because it's not really a focal point in Japan, which has absolutely no relation to the historical narrative of Oda Nobunaga's rise to power. Unless you intend to include it in the game, it is a very inappropriate and irrelevant reference. Sorry, but no one wants to hear that, especially in a game marketed to teenagers and children. It's just confusing. Okay, I want to actually push back a little bit about this. There is a there's a person, a historical person, closely related to Oda Nobunaga called Mori Ranmaru, who is a male, who's a guy, and there have been rumors and insinuations and depictions of Oda Nobunaga and Mori Ranmaru being in homosexual relations all the way back since the Edo period. So,
whoa! But is it actual factual facts though? Is it actual factual facts, or is it just the homies giving a homie kiss? You know, is it just the homies giving a homie kiss? I feel like in that period or so, you know, they were giving the homies a kiss. You know, shit, man, even in old times, they give the kiss to the homies. God damn, shit.
If they wanted to like represent LGBTQ people in the game, they could have gone through with that, and that would have been perfectly fine. I would actually defend Ubisoft if they did choose to make, not Yasuke, I don't really care about Yasuke. I mean, that's not really a point for Japanese players either. If Ubisoft did want to present Oda Nobunaga as possibly being homosexual or just bisexual with relations to Mori Ranmaru, I would have defended them, because there is and there has been historical depictions of that in Japan for centuries. So it's not completely unrelated, but okay, just continue. We've always played characters connected to our culture, whether we played as Edward Kenway when we were pirates, Ezio in Italy, or Connor the Native American in America. And that is something I mentioned in my previous video as well. For Ubisoft to suddenly choose someone from an actual historical individual to be a main protagonist in their games. This is a series first. It's never happened before.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's also true because usually the main character is just a made up main character, but then that main character is part of that region specifically, you know. But then for some apparent reason, this time around they're deciding to use someone actually historically written in the books to be a main character, but everything about that specific book was a lie. So, and also on top of that, you know, they could have just used a Japanese man to do it, you know?
And it just leads people to wonder why now. Furthermore, your game does not accurately represent.
I'll tell you why now. It's because of Sweet Baby Ink. That's why. That's the only reason why. The only reason why that Sweet Baby Ink told them is like, hey, you should change this character into a black person. They were historically, it's a historical accuracy or so. They were in history from Thomas Lockley's book. You know, you can put diversity in the game. That's pretty much, and that's basically what it is. It's 100%. It's 100%. It's 100% Sweet Baby Ink. You know, but like, you know, remember, right? They probably sent like either Ubisoft because like they're part of, you know, because it's part of one of their consultants, right? Their clients or so from Sweet Baby Ink. I bet you Ubisoft probably messaged them or so, be like, hey, you know, we're making this Assassin's Creed, but we want to make it as diverse as possible, you know. We don't apparently we don't want to make them all Japanese, apparently, right? Nah, Ezio's real. Okay, buddy. They'll probably be like, oh, we don't want to make everyone Japanese or so. Can you help us out or so for some diversity or so? And they probably did like, you know what they did? You know what Sweet Baby Ink did? Sweet Baby Ink probably like quick type or so. Was there any like black people or so in Japan or so? And then it probably popped up or so specifically about Yosuke or so. And then of course the Thomas Lockley thing. And then, you know, this whole shebang bang happened, you know. It would not surprise me if that actually really happened.
Japanese cultural references. You incorporate art and architecture that is not from the correct time period or is not Japanese entirely. There's actually other instances where they were using figures or imagery from Myanmar in their concept art. Again, mixing all these different Asian cultures into one amalgamation.
Damn, dude. Are you serious?
Not really the best. This clearly shows that you do not have experts or you hire incompetent people. Please be more responsible. Actually, the please be more responsible line is a bit different in the Japanese. Motto shikkari shite kudasai. Shikkari means like not really responsible, just like do it right. Just pull your thumb out, do it right. Get your shit straight. That's basically what that phrase there means. And like I said, there was a lot of interaction with this, and a lot of people did resonate with this in Japanese. I actually did check through several of these accounts to make sure that these people that were responding were actually genuinely Japanese as well. Like this account here has been around since August 2021. I've looked through some of their posts here. They are Japanese. Same for this person here and this person here. So it's not just a case of other foreign people pretending to be Japanese. There is a genuine player.
Bro, yeah, you're good as me as like, I don't know, to be honest. I'm like how the fuck do you mix both of those?
Base in
you're
Japan
good as guess is mine, to be honest.
Honestly and legitimately have problems with this game. Whether you agree with their criticisms, that's on you. But there is a huge base of people that
yeah, no, I 100% no, I'm 100% agree with the Japanese player base, to be honest, or just the Japanese side in general, you know. So, what if Ubi is hiding a black woman that Yosuke can romance?
Do have a problem with it in Japan. Okay, so now we're gonna look through the comments by Cabbage Hito and Cabbage Person to see what he has to say about Ubisoft's statement. I can't go through everything because it'll make the video way too long, but I'll find the most relevant points to accurately represent what his opinion on the issue is.
そうですね、午後6時5分 Ubisoft Japan よりアサシンクリードシャドウズ開発チームより日本コミュニティの皆様へと、まあそんなポストが投稿されました。まずどういうことが書かれていたのか一つ一つ見ていきましょう。これ4ページあるんですけれども、1ページ目からこう言及しておくと、歴史表現に情熱。 どういうことやろうね。待てい、経緯か。あったかな。まああったらそもそも安家じゃなくねっていうのはあるよね。ごめんな、俺の記憶違いやったらごめんなんですけど、我々の目になれる人物を探していたんですよね。まあ経緯ってなんなんやろな。ここがねちょっと一番めんどくさいところよね。フィクションだから、ファンタジーフィクションのゲームだから、そら
You know what I just noticed, Chad? Also, if you hear the background music, it's AI. It's AI music.
分かってるんやけど、忠実に描いてるって発言してるから、それどっちなんて、まあ矛盾が発生してたわけじゃん。関係者については一切の責任はないよ。
I think it's the AI. I think it's the AI music that either he created or something like that, or someone else or so. It's the Ubisoft. It's basically the Ubisoft diss track. I was hearing it or so specifically.
これは前提によりけりやんね。監修した上でこれならば関係者様たちの監修
I can hear it clearly because of my headphones. That's why.
のずさんさっていうのが露呈していますし、それを批判されて叱るべ
It's
き
the
かなと
god.
思
It's
うん
the
ですけど
goddamn
も、逆に
Ubisoft
監
diss
修
track.
せずにあれならば関係はないよね。ただずっと言われてるけど、日本に詳しい専門家に監修してもらってるって言うてるから、どうなんすかね。もうそれもフィクションなんすかね。なんで直江出てきたねんここで。なんかまあやっぱそこじゃねえって感じやな。タイミング的に直江の話出してきたのも意味わからん。どうですか皆さん、これ全部見て私が言えることはね、やっぱ変わらず、なぜこれが起きたのか原因追求してそれを発言していただきたいなというところでございます。安木が侍と描かれているのはフィクションですから、創作の一部ですから、いやそこちゃうねん。なぜそう描かれるに至ったのか、それは我々の目になれる人物だったから。それはなぜですか。経緯とは一体何なのか。経緯があれば文化財とかその辺も投与していいのか、流用していいのか。日本を軽視しているだろうという箇所がいくつもゲーム内インタビュー様々で見つかってるから荒れてるわけです。そこで全部フィクションだから許せっていうのは本当にね、なんか皆さんが求めてるものとは違う返答が返ってきたっていうのは言われても仕方ないかなと思います。
Let's have a look at what his comments section have to say about this. One comment here says, what's scary is that there are people on the English version of the statement's tweet saying Japanese people aren't angry about this. It's white people who want to discriminate against black people who are angry.
Yes, that is the most common thing. This is the most dumbest thing I've ever heard on the Western side specifically. They think we are pretending to be Japanese people, right? Or like they're pretending that because like we're pretending to be Japanese people and we hate it, right? So they think it's us pretending to be Japanese to hate it specifically, but it's actually is the Japanese, which are mankind, they do actually don't like what they're doing, like the things that they're doing specifically with this game itself, they just don't like it,
They genuinely don't realize that they are actually discriminating against Japanese people when they say that. The people who created a work that disrespects Japan so much and angers Japanese people have no way of understanding what Japanese people actually want. Considering their stock price, it feels like they are reluctantly apologizing. It's more like they are saying, we're working this hard without actually apologizing at all. These guys are really disappointing. Is it overthinking to see that they're mentioning...
Yeah, they're right. People like Senna hating.
Naoe as a way to lead people to think, you don't like that we're not using a Japanese person? Well, we're using Naoe too. And then conclude what they're actually thinking is, haha, what a bunch of racists. So this person is saying that they're getting the feeling that even though they're saying all this stuff in their statement, they're actually thinking, actually like brushing the Japanese people off as all being racists, which is something that the developers have stated in the past regarding this entire controversy. And last comment here, yeah, they seem to be using the argument Naoe is there, so it's fine. She's a Japanese protagonist, so don't discriminate against black people, making Japanese people look very narrow-minded. Okay, so this will be my third time trying to make this point explicitly clear in these videos.
Then a white person. Man, dude, where's the Genshin community coming after Ubisoft? Where's that at?
That Yasuke is by no means the main problem that Japanese players have with Assassin's Creed Shadows. He is by no means the main issue that Japanese players have with this game, but because he is such an outstanding figure in this game, he becomes the face of the issues.
Yeah, he's basically become the spotlight to the entire surrounding area of the issues that are basically building even more and more and more and more and more, apparently.
Because let's be honest, when we were thinking about a game being set in Sengoku period Japan as an assassin, can any of you honestly say that a black person being the main protagonist in that game would be the first thing that you would have thought of? I don't think so.
No.
Again, he's not the main problem that Japanese players have with this game. I've seen many comments of Japanese people saying, fine, whatever, Yasuke, okay, cool, but you need to sort out all these other problems about the copyright, the misuse of...
Yeah, the copyright issues, also taking the sword from Zoro, the misrepresentation of certain things or so, specifically during that time period or so, and whatever, you know. Kind of ironic that this is literally the same that thing used with the slave argument. You're not a slave, you don't know how good they actually have it or feel. What the fuck? I wonder if a Jason Schreier article will come out and expose Ubi. That would be interesting to see that, actually. Uncle Ruckus, is that you?
Cultural heritage sites and all these other issues as well. If they wanted to use Yasuke in a main protagonist role for this game, they could have easily done that and stuck very close to the historical...
I'm not surprised if Pikachu is racist. KW.
...records of what is known about Yasuke as an individual. He was not this legendary samurai that saved Japan. He's by no means that at all. What we know about Yasuke, about what he did for Oda Nobunaga, what is written in the historical records, is that he was as strong as 10 men. So possibly he may have participated in some sumo fights, which is very plausible considering that Oda Nobunaga did enjoy sumo very, very much. He performed tricks for Oda Nobunaga when he was asked, and also that he sometimes carried luggage and other tools for Oda Nobunaga. So that's basically all we know about what he did for Oda Nobunaga. If we had any historical record of him participating in battles, which Oda Nobunaga did have some battles after Yasuke came into his service. I actually have a book here going over all of the recorded battles that Oda Nobunaga had up basically from birth all the way up until his death, including the years 1581 to 1582. And in those battles, Yasuke was nowhere to be found, nowhere to be mentioned at all. And it also has a list of all the samurai that did serve under Nobunaga at that time.
Oh, interesting. And also has the names of all the samurais that served with him. Wow, okay. We claim the emperor. He's black now.
Yasuke was not mentioned. I'm sorry, but it's just not in the historical record at all. Oda Nobunaga is possibly the most studied individual in Japanese history. And if Yasuke had been noted in any way, shape, or form that he was a part of those battles as a warrior in any way, shape, or form, then I would stand out here in front of you all and said, no, Yasuke was capable of fighting and was a part of these battles. But
the only mention of Yasuke being in battle in any sword is the honoji. He was fighting in self-defense as many Kosho and others under Nobunaga were killed. He was spared as he was not seen as a samurai by Akechi.
It just doesn't show itself in the historical records. We can't say that at all. And on the English version of this response here, we have this with 16,000 likes. I feel like people have completely forgotten that this screen shows up when you start any Assassin's Creed game. And the link to this image here, inspired by historical events and characters, this work of fiction was designed, developed, and produced by a multicultural team of various beliefs, sexual orientations, and gender identities. Okay, I've seen this argument put out very, very often, and I think it's just completely missing the mark. Whenever they say about this, they're talking specifically about the more fantastical elements of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's just literally Lockley's fanfic, basically. That's it, pretty much. New meta, Yosuke is a god that came from heaven to did all that, then erase everyone's memories. Yeah, he was Uluran. He was Uluran the entire time, you know. Yosuke was Uluran, you know. So
Creed to do with, like, say, the whole aliens thing.
In a battle in Samurai Warriors.
And using this machine to go back into the memories and go back into time. Of course, we all understand that that's where the historical fiction part comes into play. But when they actually go back into time, when they're actually talking about and they're exploring these places in the past, they are, for the most part, extremely representative and respectful to both the country, the ethnicity, and also the time period in which those games are set. Nothing in those games was extremely out there that really struck people from that region as being extremely odd. Of course, when you can give examples like, say, when you get into the pyramids and you see the holograms, of course we understand that that is fiction. We don't think that if you go into the pyramids, we can expect to see holograms. We know that's of course fictional.
Yeah, of course. No, duh. Of course. The fuck?
That's not the issue. But if they
He used infinite Tsukiyomi.
presented the pyramids as being either a lot smaller or a lot larger than what they actually were, or maybe in a different shape than what we can verify them to be true, then we would take issue that they are not representing those pyramids in the way that we understand them to be. That is the issue. Like, there's a lot of things going on in Assassin's Creed Shadows that you guys in the West do not notice. You guys don't notice, but it's extremely obvious and extremely explicitly blatant for people that live in Japan and those that are familiar with Japanese culture. I've already gone through the problems with this image in my previous video, so go check out that. But
yeah, the one that I was kind of like, The only thing that kind of like drew me out specifically, because like this specific cutscene was the trees, the sakura trees themselves. I was like, is there something wrong with this specific scene itself? I couldn't put my finger on it, but I knew I was like, is it the trees? I'm like, there's something weird about it. I was like, and I was partially correct, but there's more to it, of course, because like I said, I wasn't raised in Japan or anything like that, right? But the trees were the ones that were kind of like giving me like, is it the trees that seems kind of off? Because like this looks like spring, like this is spring, right? Because it's all green, it's so luscious and everything like that. It doesn't really like, you know, when do sakura trees come out or so in Japan? Let me see. Hold on. Throughout the spring. Okay. So it's throughout the spring or so. Okay. I was just wondering or so. Uchiha Yasuke coming to Jump Force as a DLC character. The first Black Hokage. Damn, man. Yeah, because I was thinking, huh. It's just like, I was like, I couldn't really tell to put my finger to it because of this. This specific itself was kind of like giving me, is it the trees? I was like, I couldn't tell, but no, apparently it's the birds, it's this here, the trees, because it's a different, it's a different period, because you have these, you have this, and apparently this here, the wet marshlands over here of the rice paddies or so.
In the next scene, right after this as well, we see two people, Naue and her father here at a Shinto shrine, and we can tell it's a Shinto shrine by the Tori gate in the background, and also what we saw here. Yeah. This is a very typical Shinto shrine, an old run-down Shinto shrine, sure. That you can find pretty much anywhere in Japan. And there's something here. You see...
Ain't that Snoop Dogg the first Black Hokage from the hidden village of the Haikage?
This smoke here is from incense sticks. And incense sticks are a thing that is very common in Buddhist religion, not Shinto religion. So they're mixing these...
So they're basically mixing like other Asian cultures in a Japanese game. Oh, that's bad. That's real bad, to be honest. How come people are not checking Ubi for just quality? Ryuku is right on how past games was able to get their settings right. AC Syndicate accurately shown that the kids worked in the factories. Why can't Shadows getting farming right? Apparently they can't. Hidden Mist Village be hidden different. Ain't that racist? Apparently all Asians are the same, apparently to Ubisoft. Apparently all Asians are the same, apparently. God, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, that's pretty messed up, I'm not gonna lie.
These two very, very different religions up into one thing. That would not happen. So this is something that was picked up by Japanese players as well. If continue on. In this scene here, there are at least 5 different things that I can point out that really stood out to Japanese players that you guys probably didn't notice at all.
One of them is the mats. I know one of them is the mats specifically. I'm trying to see if I can find a difference. I feel like it's gonna have to be. I'm gonna have to call out the outfit. Maybe the outfit or the way they're sitting. I'm gonna have to call. I'm gonna roll the dice. What do you guys call out, chat? Chat. Let's play. Guess what's wrong with this scene, chat. You guys want to guess what's wrong with this scene? I mean, let's be real. If you saw an Asian, you can't even tell where they're from. KW. Didn't they say what their? Didn't they say like the shape of their eyes or so is like the way you can tell? I don't know, to be honest. I saw that in a YouTube video a long time ago, to be honest. I don't know if that's actually true or not. I can tell sometimes, but not all the time. Same with Europeans. Yeah, same with Europeans too. Even I can tell fucking with Europeans as well. So, do you guys want to guess? Do you guys want to guess what's wrong with this scene, chat? Apparently, there's 5 things that's wrong in this specific scene. I already guessed for one of them, which is the mat, and I'm trying to take a guess either the. I'm gonna say the outfit or the way how they're posed or so. So that's pretty much about it. So what do you guys want to guess, chat? Try to guess, chat. Try to guess what's wrong. What's wrong with this scene, chat? What's wrong with this scene? Also at the same time, why the fuck is the sun, like the sun going down on the right, but then like there's not really much sun on the left, to be honest. So all the Asians in the chat right now are the same in Ubisoft's eyes. Y'all are Legion now. Dude, it's like the Genshin thing. It's like literally the Genshin thing. I was going to call that out. It's the color of the dress, KW. Maybe, probably. The lighting is weird. The lighting is definitely a little bit weird because it's kind of weird that there's a weird sunset on the right, but then on the left there's kind of like broad daylight or so in the middle of the day or so. So it's kind of weird. The fact that Ubisoft made it to begin with, yeah, you know what, you're right. All right, let's take a guess. Let's see what seems to be the issue. I know the one is the mats or so.
Like here, the first thing, the most obvious thing is the shape of the tatami mats.
Boom! Oh yes, baby.
These tatami mats are 1x1 square. Tatami mats are not this shape at all. They would be like 1.2, well, 1x2, not exactly that ratio, but they would be like rectangular squares, like here all the way to here. This is how tatami mats are typically shaped in Japan. There are some tatami mats that are 1x1 squares that are in the Okinawa and Ryukyu Islands, but they were a very, very rare thing that were definitely not in the Honshu mainland around Sengoku period Japan at all. So even though square tatami mats were a thing and are a thing like more in modern days, they would not be a thing in Sengoku period Japan. And on the point of tatami mats here, you see all these nobles. These nobles would not be sitting in this position.
Oh, I fucking guessed it, dude. I fucking guessed it too as well, man, dude. I'm just too fucking good, man. I'm just too fucking good, man.
At this point in time. Sitting in Seiza style, sitting like on your legs in this style here, was not popularized until a few decades later than this. Around this time here, they would be more typically being sat in cross-legged style. And on the point of where they're sitting, you see many of these nobles sitting with, well, they're basically crossing the lines here. That's a huge faux pas that these people would never have done. In tatami mats, you are designated to sit within the lines, within the borders on the tatami mats. They would not sit with any part of their body crossing any part of the lines. They would sit like either dead center, or if they're sitting with 2 people on there, they'll have one person on one half center and another person on the other half center. And again, with Yasuke in the very middle, sat right down the center line here. Of course, okay, he's not Japanese, so maybe he doesn't know. Sure, we can give him a bit of a pass on that, I guess. But these other people here would not have that same excuse. And another point of where people are sitting as well, you have this attendant to Oda Nobunaga. He would not be sitting at the same head level as his master. He would be sitting further down here. Actually, not just down here as well. He would be sitting further.
You know, it's funny. I was gonna call that out specifically because I was just like. But I thought maybe because like I've seen it in other games where they have like, you know, the squire or the fucking dude being right next to the master, so that I didn't really call that one out. So
further off into the corner here. So like I said, the shape of the tatami mats, the way people are sitting, where the people are sitting, the attendant, his location, both not on here, not at head level, and also not this close. These are things that Japanese
Damn, dude, I can't believe I called that out specifically to the way that the way that they're sitting or so. There's just like the way that they're sitting and then the mats. I learned apparently there's techniques to draw the wakizashi from that position. I don't even know what that is, to be honest.
players are noticing and they are realizing that you in the West do not notice. You just
I fucking noticed it. I fucking noticed it. Damn, dude. Shit, man. I knew something was... Man, I swear to God, dude. I swear. The shit was, like, gnawing off of me or so. Like, I swear. It's like something inside of me just keeps, like, gnawing at me.
you just see black man in Japan. They have a problem with black man. No, that is not it. That is not even
No,
close to the
no,
issue that that
no.
Japan has with this game at all. This is just one scene, and I pointed out 5 things. I'm sure I could point out some more if I looked even closer. If they wanted to have Yasuke be one of the main protagonists in Assassin's Creed, they could have done that very easily and still sticking within the confines of historical accuracy.
Yeah, of course, you know? Yeah, but he wouldn't play a big major role in being this legendary samurai. Ubisoft consulting DEI for a game and not someone from Japan for the accuracy.
Because what we know of Yasuke as a historical figure is that he is an attendant, a kosho, to Oda Nobunaga, not a samurai. From what we understand, he possibly could have been, but the general consensus among historians is that he probably was not. What you could very, very easily say and portray him in the game as a main individual in Assassin's Creed Shadows is that you could have presented him as someone that was an assassin that ingratiated himself into Oda Nobunaga's favor in order to get close to him, in order to get information that he could feed to Naoe in order to facilitate assassin activities. Like it was mentioned that he is strong and that we do have some reason to believe that he may have participated in sumo wrestling matches. We have no official confirmation, but we can reasonably guess that, again, like I said, with Oda Nobunaga being such a big proponent of sumo wrestling, that he would have conceivably asked Yasuke to get in the ring and put his skills to use. But as it stands, with Yasuke being in this huge battle armor, walking around everyday towns like nothing's happening, that would definitely not happen. If someone was in armor, anyone...
Yeah, someone also pointed out specifically too that the armor is just like... It's like, why would you wear this armor just walking around like normally or so?
Not just a big black guy. If anyone was in armor walking around the town, people would be scared. They would be thinking, okay, something's about to go down right now. I'm going to run away. I'm going to go into my house. I'm going to go somewhere out of the way of whatever's going on. This would not happen. And apparently he's supposed to be an assassin. So let me get this right. He's supposed to be an assassin, whereas he is the... He
is not an assassin. Man is dripped out. This man is not an assassin. I'm going to be honest with you. This man is not an assassin. Because he doesn't play like an assassin. Didn't the developers say that these two play differently or so? Like, how is this guy an assassin? I thought assassins were supposed to be quiet, sneaky, and stealthy, you know? Like Naoe. What the fuck?
The most conspicuous person in the entire country. A gigantic Goliathan black man in heavy armor walking around with a giant iron club, beating the shit out and massacring huge swaths of Japanese officials. Yeah, that just doesn't pass the sniff test. If they wanted to put Yasuke in the game, they could have done it in much better ways. They didn't need to include a samurai role at all for this game to succeed. No one was asking for a samurai role in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We could have just had the ninja, you know, at the end of the day. He just showed up in front of the enemy in the trailer.
Assassin's Creed, not Samurai Creed. There was this post here. There was this community note put under the post by Assassin's Creed.
Oh shit, they got a community note? No way.
Ubisoft Japan should say. Talking specifically about what they were saying about how Assassin's Creed was never supposed to be taken as an actual, in any way, shape or form, historical representation of things that actually factually happened in the past. We have put significant effort into inserting an immersive and respectful representation of feudal Japan. However, our intention has never been to present any of our Assassin's Creed games, including Assassin's Creed Shadows, as factual representations of history or historical characters. Instead, we aim to spark curiosity and encourage players to explore and learn more about the historical settings we are inspired by. Assassin's Creed Shadows is first and foremost designed to be an entertaining video game that tells a compelling historical fiction set in feudal Japan. Our team extensively collaborated with external consultants, historians, researchers, and internal teams at Ubisoft Japan to inform our creative choices. There were these links to these two interviews here by the developers in which they quite clearly and explicitly say that this game was created with authenticity in mind and as being in somewhat a recreation of 16th century Japan. So with them saying it was never meant to be historically accurate in the first place, what are you guys upset about? There are words from the developers quite literally saying the exact opposite.
For those
Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes, chat. Here he comes. This is what I've been waiting for.
who know their history well, I think that they have a lot to look forward to.
This is an interview they did with Famitsu, and this is from Thierry, who is talking about how they accessing the databases of particular museums and other historical records, such as the Shincho Koki, the chronicles of Oda Nobunaga, as well as messages from letters from Louis Frois. Okay, let me just translate this. As Thierry said, I used the museum database, but also inscriptions and scientific books, articles, and medieval statements. For example, the Shincho Koki, like I said here. So I used it to describe Japan in the 16th century. Also, since the contemporary Louis Floyd documents, the letters, compares European and Japanese societies, I also refer to this. They are quite explicitly saying that they are referring to historical documents in order to recreate 16th century Japan. And even more explicitly up here, for several years with the help of experts, I also conducted research into Japanese studios and teams. We used different types of sources to see if the team understood correctly and had all the information needed to reconstruct the state of Japan in the 16th century. So here they are explicitly saying they are trying to recreate authentically 16th century Japan. And again, later on in this article here, they're talking about the historical nature of Oda Nobunaga and also the things that he has done, and that they're trying to faithfully recreate that time period and him as an individual. This game is going to be great for those that want to learn about the time period. Again, let me just translate this into English for you guys to see. This work faithfully depicts real historical figures like Oda Nobunaga and the events of the time, so you can learn about this wonderful era while enjoying the game on the stage of feudal Japan. There is no room for debate about this. They have been, and they always have been, pushing this game as a faithful recreation of 16th century Japan, and for them to now say, what are you guys angry about? Why you? We never meant it to be a faithful depiction. We tried.
Yeah, man, dude. You. I like how they say it. They say like, no, we never said that. We never said it was historically accurate. It's fiction. It's not real, guys. It's our own work or so. Will the court show the evidence of evidence number 1, please? Damn, dude, the evidence just keeps piling up against them, to be honest. It just like literally just makes them look bad overall, to be honest.
Tried, but sure. They're just being caught with their hand in the cookie jar here. So with them saying, however, our intention has never been to present any of our Assassin's Creed games, including Assassin's Creed Shadows, as factual representations of history or historical characters, they are quite literally lying. And on top of that, when this community post was sent out and was put on the Japanese version of this statement here, it got taken down. You can no longer see this community note underneath this post here. It was there. I saw it myself as well. Some people did manage to get a screenshot.
Damn, are you serious? No way. What?
Of that post here, like I said, here, but you can no longer find that, which is very, very suspicious. This is why Japanese players are angry with Ubisoft as a company, and particularly to do with Assassin's Creed Shadows, because they are consistently at every step being disrespectful to their Japanese audience. They're saying one thing, doing another, and then claiming another later on. That's
Man, dude. Man. So in short, Ubi Gaslighting Co. should be able to see this because she gaslights us allegedly.
not good. They need to sort their shit out. I'm getting really tired of arguing this now. I hope this is going to be my last video talking about the situation. Again, it's just really, really getting so entirely exhausting. So, if you enjoyed the video,
pretty
don't forget to leave
exhausting,
a
I'm not
like
gonna lie.
and comment down. I want to hear your opinions, if you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, or whatever. seen many people commenting on videos without actually watching the video. Thanks for that.
Yeah, no, like 100%. Like at the end of the day, right? This is just bad. This is just completely bad overall, you know? Like I'm gonna remind everybody here, you know, everyone in my YouTube frogs, my YouTube community, and then everyone here, do not buy this game. This game is not worth it. Let them take the L and let them learn the lesson or so that you don't fuck around with people. Like you just don't fuck around with like the Japanese culture and make a complete disrespect, you know, to them, and think they're not gonna find out, you know. When Black Myth, a game based on the folktale of Journey to the West, is more faithful and possibly more historically accurate to a fucking folktale than the actual historical event, is baffling. I know. Tell me about it. Like I said, I will say this and I will say it again. And for those who are watching, please do not buy this game. It's not worth it. Let them take the L. Let them learn from this situation that you don't fuck around, you know? I mean, Yuka has had enough of this drama. Yeah, even like there's a lot of people who are just like sick and tired of, because they're literally not apologizing and literally just disrespecting the culture. They're disrespecting the culture. They're disrespecting the Japanese audiences in general, and they think that we, us on the Western side, right? They think we are the ones that are using fucking Google Translate and pretending to be Japanese people, and think that we are the ones that are doing it or so. You know, it's kind of like it's just so weird. You know, it's just kind of like, no, these are actual Japanese people who are actually angry. So. Or more upset, to be honest. Just donate money to Ko for her future gaming company. That's totally not a scam whatsoever. Man, dude, don't even bother spending money. Yeah, just spend it on something else, to be honest. Just play Ghost of Tsushima. Play any other Japanese related game in general, you know? So it's just not worth it. No, I'm sticking with my plan with Ubi Plus and seeing the story with my own two eyes. I wish you luck on that, to be honest. I'm not watching that. I'll watch the reviews. If Asmongold plays it, I'll watch Asmongold play it, and that's about it, to be honest. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not supporting this. Maybe if it was like $5, maybe I'll pick it up if it's $5, but I don't even fucking know if I want to pick it up for $5, to be honest. But you know for a fact that this game is going to go on sale after this game has been released, you know? 100%. Elden Ring when? When I have money. When I have money. When I have money. Sales to seize for the games instead. Yeah. Assassin's Creed Void, Ko's Wrath. Yeah, but anyways, that's pretty much it. That's the end of the video, you know? Kind of wanted to talk about this specifically and, like, wanted to know, you know? Oh man, dude, it's crazy, to be honest. What the it's very interesting to know what the actually what the Japanese actually think about the apology or so. We'll stream the game for us. No, I wouldn't even play it even if it was free. That's fair. That's a fair take, to be honest. That's a very fair take. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can tell me what you guys think. If you leave me down in the comment sections down below. You know I read the comment sections, of course, you know. You guys tell me what you think specifically, and yeah, don't buy the game. That's it. Vote with your wallet. Please do not buy this game, you know. So thank you very much, and that's the end of the video. Peace.